Hi, Kobe's. Happy day. I don't know what day you guys are watching this, and frankly, I don't know what day it is anyway, so hopefully you guys are having a good one. We've got a fun little workout for you today, an EMOM to start, and then a very quintessential rep scheme for CrossFit 2059 for our MetCon. So I know this is going to be backwards, but I'm going to show it anyway. We've got, and I'll talk you through it. So it's going to be an EMOM, 12 minutes. Odd minutes are going to be a 100-meter run. If you don't know how far 100 meters is, it's about 30 seconds. I'd say give or take 30 to 40 seconds. So if you can time yourself, run out 20 or 15 seconds and then run back. A driveway might be long enough, something like that. And then for the even, you're going to be doing 14 alternating dumbbell snatches. You can also do snatches with a barbell. I'm just confirming this, 10 power snatches, with a barbell, or 10 ground to overhead with some type of equipment. So it's either 14 alternating with a dumbbell or kettlebell, or 10 power snatch from the ground to overhead. If you've got a sandbag or something along those lines, like a weighted backpack, you can also do ground to overhead with that type of equipment. So that's going to be our EMOM. And then the MetCon, we've got 21, 15, 9 back squats and handstand push-ups. And if you do not have a barbell to put on your back, you can use a different piece of equipment. You can use a weighted backpack. You can take a dumbbell and put it on your shoulders. I'll show you a couple different options for that as well. If you are doing fitness or you don't have access to a wall that you can do push-ups on, we're going to do pike push-ups. The fitness is pike push-ups. Open is going to be, performance is going to be kipping push-ups, handstand push-ups, and open is going to be strict handstand push-ups. Thank you for bearing with me, as my brain is pretty fried by the end of the day. So we're going to get warmed up for this. If you are able to run, and you can pause this video, go on out I want you to actually go out for 200, so about a minute of running outside, and then come on back in. And if you just want to hang out with me and do a little warm up inside with the video running, we're just going to jog in place for about a minute. I will run my clock for you guys. So those of you going outside, head on out. If you're indoors, we're going to do 1 minute. We're going to start with just a regular old jog in place. And then we'll switch it up a little bit as we go. All right, give me some butt kickers. And let's switch it up to high knees. And then just back down. You can kind of jog it out, shuffle, soft knees, loosen up those ankles a little bit. All right, so by now, hopefully you're back from your jog, your 200, and we are gonna go ahead, cancel that time. We're gonna go ahead, get down into a downward facing dog, but we're gonna do that by hinging at our hips. Let me change my angle here slightly so you can see. So we're going to hinge at our hips. Come all the way down to that forward fold. Walk your hands out. Find that downward facing dog. Drive those heels down. And we're going to pedal our feet out. Get a nice stretch to those calves. Walk your hands back up. Stand it up. Big stretch overhead. And then we're going to switch, or twist, Open up that back and shoulders a little bit through that twist. Then I want you to give me 3-inch worms. So we're going to hinge it down. Walk it up to the top of a push-up. Push up. Grab that out of the way. Walk your hands back. Stand it up. 2 more here. Top of a push-up, you can also drop down to your knees. And last one here. And walk it back. Good. From here, go ahead and just sink down into the bottom of a squat. Might need to go a little wider in those feet. Take those hands, press them into each other, drive those knees out, chest is nice and tall. And we're going to twist again. So take that left hand, place on the right, twist up towards the ceiling. Go ahead and switch. And we're going to do that one more time. Other side. And last time, switch. Awesome, guys. From here, we're going to go into dump trucks. So, hands are going to go underneath the ball of the foot. Hips are going to come high. Relax that neck. Big stretch through that spine and hamstrings and back down. So, we're going to do 5 dump trucks. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Go ahead and round it up. Awesome. We're going to stretch out those hamstrings a little bit more and those glutes and hip flexors. So let's get down into a perfect lunge. Driving that knee out. Back hip is off the ground. Doing a lot of twisting, so I'm not going to go ahead and do too many more twists here, but I am going to have you go from this position into pigeon. So sliding that front foot into a pigeon pose. Try to sink those hips nice and low. You might feel the hips a lot from the running that we've been doing. Come down to your elbows if you can. And let's go ahead and switch through a downward facing dog. So swing that leg behind, press it through. And swing the opposite leg through for perfect lunge on the other side. And we do these stretches a lot, the same ones over and over again. It's because they work. They really do. And swing that front foot into pigeon. Get nice and tall, get those hips low, and then come on down. And I'm keeping my foot flexed here because that's going to protect my knee. Awesome. All right, so from here, guys, we're going to go into a tabletop position. Get those wrists stretched out a little bit for all that pushing. So we're going to rock back and forth. I'm going to have you rotate so that your fingers are pointing back towards your knees. Pull back. And then from here, we're going to go into some pike push-ups. So I've got an ab mat here. This is kind of a cheapo. I think I got this at Five Below a while back. But if you have something like this, you can use it as a target for your head or just to bring the floor up a little bit to limit that range of motion. If you're still working on your pike push-ups, you can use a rolled up blanket, a folded blanket, something like that, a towel. But if you need that, this is a great option for you. So when we get set up into our pike position, we're going to go back into that downward facing dog. And then I want you to walk your feet a little bit closer to your hands so that you're creating a triangle with where your head is going to hit the ground and where your hands are. So I'm going to move this up a little bit for me to touch my head to the mat so you can see kind of where the mat is in relation to my hands. So we're going to drive our head down, tap that ground, and then from here, I'm going to press up, but I'm going to press through to that final lockout position. So you want to think, all right, technical difficulties, we're good. So you want to think about like you're in that final lockout position when you're going overhead with like a barbell or with dumbbells. So it's going to be replicated on the ground. So I want you guys back in that position. So we're going to go ahead and just give me 5 pike push-ups. So hips are nice and high, walk your hands a little closer, get that head to the ground, and then press it through. 2, 3, 4, 5. hands back, and come on up. Wonderful. All right, we're gonna go into warming up for those dumbbell snatches. We're doing kind of a variety of different movements with a variety of different pieces of equipment here. So if you have a dumbbell or a kettlebell, it's going to be coming from the ground. Make sure I can go overhead with this. But it's going to be coming from the ground. What you want to avoid is rounding that low back and pulling with that low back. I really want you guys to focus on getting into a nice setup like you're deadlifting. So we've got our hips low, our knees are relatively straight. I mean, our shins are relatively straight in this position. You can drive your knees out a little bit, but we want to be able to leverage that heel or hamstring and heel. So driving the heel into the ground, open that hamstring and use that hip to get that weight up and overhead. So what I'm going to have you guys do is start off with whatever piece of equipment you're using. If you're using a barbell, you can do deadlifts as well, but we're going to do single arm deadlifts for the dumbbell and or kettlebell, or the backpack weight if you're using that. So we're going to do 5 per side here. So 5 deadlifts. Really feel it in the glute and the hamstring. And then go ahead and switch other side. All right, and then I want you to give me just 2 alternating dumbbell snatches, or sorry, we'll say 4. So 2 per side. 1, 2, 3, 4. Really focus on driving through those hips, and then ultimately, this is a heavier weight, so it's kind of hard for me to demonstrate the kind of slow movement of it, but if you want those hips opening so that that weight starts to feel weightless around here, so that you can then turn over and drop underneath it. So get those 4 reps in. All right, so we're going to be doing 14 of those. If you're using the bar, again, it's just going to be coming from the ground, okay? So from the mid-shin, think about being really patient on that first pull. Once you get to the knee, that's when you want to fire the hips, drop underneath, and keep that barbell nice and close. All right, nice and close to our bodies here. So we're going to be doing 10 with the barbell or 10 from the ground with like a backpack weight. Otherwise, it's going to be 14 alternating. Okay, so I'm going to go over the MetCon movements real quick for you guys, and then you guys can get started with that EMOM right into that MetCon. So if you need to take some time, I would say maybe like 4 or 5 minutes in between max, just to kind of maximize the workout overall. But after that EMOM, we're going into 21-15-9 back squats and handstand push-ups. The weight prescribed is going to be 95-65 on a barbell or 135-95 on a barbell. If you're going to be doing, dumbbells and or kettlebells, depending on what kind of weights you guys have at home. But the prescribed weight for fitness is going to be 25 or 15. Performance and open is going to be 50 or 35. So that being said, let's go ahead and get a couple movements in just to understand what we're doing, and then I'll let you guys get going. So we've got a little bit of room here. All right, we've got back squats. I want you guys to each be 10 air squats. Okay, pull those hips behind you. Make sure that we're breaking parallel. Keep that chest nice and tall. Give me 10. I have no idea how many I've just done. Make sure those knees are driving out. All right, so if you are taking your barbell from the ground, we'll talk about barbells first, we'll talk about dumbbells second. Taking those barbells from the ground, you're going to need to clean that up, press it up overhead, create a little shelf with your shoulders, and drop that weight on your back. So what I want you guys to do is, starting with the unloaded bar, you're just going to give me 5 reps. And if you are using a dumbbell, you're going to also give me 5 reps, and you can hold that in the goblet position for right now. All right, so just give me your 5. I'll say that I did mine. I'm going to go ahead and just show you guys what you can do with these dumbbells. So I only have 1 dumbbell, and I'm going to demo with 1 dumbbell. So if you have 2, you can hold them up on your shoulders, similar to the open workout where we use dumbbells for squats. If you recall, because I only have a single dumbbell, I'm just going to place it on the back of my shoulders. So you can hold it in this position here on your shoulder and just kind of position it so that it's comfortable for you. And you can switch if you need to take, if you want to switch sides, you can switch sides halfway through your rep scheme. You can also choose to just switch after 21, move it to the other side. That's one option. The other option here is a little bit awkward, but if you can get it onto your shoulders behind the neck, yeah, a little awkward. I wear a necklace, so if you're wearing a necklace, maybe not the best idea. But now that weight is sitting on the back of your shoulders, you can stabilize it. The weight is on the back so much of the barbell as far as the weight distribution, and you can squat. I mean, you'll be kind of in a front rack position holding the weights in place, but this will give you that benefit of having that weight behind you. Okay? And worst case scenario, you guys can do this again with the goblets position, whether it's with a dumbbell or a kettlebell. You can still get your squats in. All right, guys, so I want you guys to take a little time getting warmed up if you're using a barbell, if you're adding some weight on, if you're adding plates. If you don't have anything light, focus on doing a couple more body weight movements, a couple more rounds of 5 reps of body weight air squats, and then go ahead and do it just maybe 4 or 5 reps with that heavier weight so we don't gas ourselves entirely before we get started on that EMOM. Hope you guys have an awesome day. Hope you enjoy this workout. When you're done with the workout, I want you to go back through similar motions that we did, similar stretches that we did in our warm-up. So I want you to focus on hamstrings and calves. By going into a downward facing dog, I want you to pedal those feet. You're going to go into a tabletop position and puppy dog with your shoulders opening up so hips are going to stay above your knees, pressing that chest down. You're also going to do a perfect lunge and pigeon to round out your stretches at the end of this MetCon. So hope you guys enjoy, and we'll see you next time.